What's up, guys? It's Peak Reacts, and today is not a video that I really wanted to make today. I wasn't going to make a video today, but another article on The Athletic dropped today, and it has to do with CJ McCollum, and it gets very personal to the point where I am starting to look away from the basketball side of things and more looking at things personally and actually look at it through CJ's eyes, and I'm starting to understand his struggles a bit and understand what he's going through and start to feel for him a little. So today is really just going to be me. I have this article right in front of me right now, and there's not going to be any cuts in this video, and I'm just going to go through this article with you guys. I'll put it on the screen once I'm at the part I'm talking about. Let's just jump right into the video. It's by Jason Quick. It was dropped today, and it is titled "Inside the Mind of CJ McCollum. A conversation and a text message show the Blazer guard's current struggle." Now, if you do want to read this article, it is on The Athletic, which requires a subscription. So just know that. So this is probably the best way you'll get the article in full, is this video right here. So it starts off where it's talking about Jason Quick is driving home from Moda Center following the blowout loss to the Celtics, and CJ McCollum texts him, and this is what he says. He goes, "Oregon is my home," McCollum wrote. "Always will be. I got married here. My son will be born here. We bought 318 acres here and started planting our vineyard here. This city and organization have been very good to me and my family. We're forever grateful." And then he goes on to say, "As my car idled on the side of the road, my mind raced. Did I miss something? Did McCollum get traded? I did a quick search. Nothing. Damn," I texted back. "You make it sound like a goodbye." "It's not a goodbye," he replied. "I'm still here, my friend." So that message right there, it sure seems like a goodbye. And by the end of the article, Jason Quick agrees. It seems like McCollum is really going through it right now with the trade rumors and everything he's going through. We'll get into what he's going through later in the article. But that text message following a blowout loss, just a text, is not the best. So it goes in depth on the reasons McCollum is struggling. It says his biggest advocate in the organization, general manager Neil Olshey, was fired last week, which has served as a kindling to the bonfire of NBA trade rumors. Meanwhile, his wife is due to give birth to their first child in January, but McCollum is certain his son will come sooner. And with a new coach in Chauncey Billups, who is asking him to run different plays and play a different style, McCollum is struggling like few other times in his career. So there it gives you just three right there in pen reasons that LeBron is struggling. I see LeBron on the TV over there in the background. Why CJ is struggling this year. The three reasons: Neil Olshey getting fired does not help. That is a guy that has really had his back throughout his career. His wife is about to give birth. That's a pretty big thing that's going on in someone's life. And then playing with a new coach, just getting used to new systems, that's something that will cause you to struggle a little bit too. A quote from him, he goes, "Try having a kid in the middle of COVID," McCollum said after leaving the Moda Center. "That shit ain't normal. Now try having a kid during COVID amid trade rumors in the middle of the season." Yeah. So McCollum, he gets a lot more personal here. And I actually like it. I mean, never do we really see into the personal side of an athlete. It's always just what we see on the court. We see it 3-4 times every week, and we judge a person's life and how much we like them based on what they do on the court. We really don't hear much about personal stuff when it comes to these NBA players or pro athletes in general. So, I mean, I like McCollum opening up and being a little more vulnerable about what he's going through. He goes on to talk about Dame and him's relationship. He goes, "Me and Dame have a good relationship. I think when Dame speaks, you hear him. When you hear sources and anonymous, I don't necessarily know if that is Dame or not, because it's not Dame putting his name on it. He generally puts his name on things. I know where he stands with me, and he knows where I stand with him. The organization, they need to do what is best for themselves." And then Quick asks where he thought McCollum stood with Lillard. And McCollum responds, if he wanted me to leave, I think he would say that. He's not speaking on me behind closed doors because that's not in his DNA. He's not built like that. He's solid, and I know his word is his bond. Quick goes on to the other reason why McCollum is probably struggling a little bit. He asks about Neil Olshey. Olshey is a guy that obviously drafted McCollum back in 2013, and they've had a very close relationship ever since. McCollum says here in another quote, "It was tough, unfortunate. Neil is a good friend of mine, obviously. He was someone who had faith in me, trust, and belief in me, and I was in a solid position. I mean, a GM of a franchise having been in the NBA a long time. It was just unfortunate that the situation occurred. And what happened in the investigation? I mean, obviously they found something that was worthy of letting him go, which is not ideal, but it was tough." Quick asks him if he feels like his future in Portland is a little more cloudy and uncertain now that Olshey's gone, and McCollum says, "That's a question for somebody else. I just do my job, show up for work, and do my job." So that just gives you a little insight. I mean, McCollum and Olshey are tight. I know back in the offseason, this past, or 2 off seasons ago, I think, Drew Holiday was offered to the Blazers in exchange for McCollum and a couple first-round picks, and Neil Olshey declined. He's got a lot of faith in McCollum. He's going to ride or die with him, and with him being gone, this new coaching staff and new general manager and front office could not feel the same about him. So, I mean, that's a real thing that McCollum hasn't had to go through yet. Quick asked him if something was going on in regards to him averaging career lows in a lot of statistics. He says, "My wife is going to have a baby in the next week or to 4 weeks, so that's where my focus is right now. I try to play to the best of my ability with my job. I'm going to show up and do the best of my ability. But would it affect you? Wife about to have a baby in the next month or so? Would that affect you? She can't get on the plane. She can't fly. She can't travel. I'm not here to make excuses. I've got to get better. We have to get better as a team. We have to get better as a staff. But there are just some things you can't control. I have a baby on the way." And that's real life stuff right there from McCollum. I'll bet you a lot of you guys just didn't know that CJ McCollum, his wife, is pregnant. And having your first child, that's a real thing. And that is something that he needs to get a lot of attention to. And when he says, "That's where my focus is," he says his focus is more on his baby than it is on basketball. I don't want to hear people clamoring in the comments that, well, your job is basketball. Well, life comes first, so I think that is not a statement that is like selfish or anything. That's real life right there. Again, Quick asks some more stuff, elaborates more. He asked how just this season has been overall when it comes to the new coaching staff and stuff like that. And McCollum says, "This is different than anything I've ever experienced because of the circumstances. This is the first year of my career when we lost our whole coaching staff, brought in a new coach, a new staff. The GM gets fired in the middle of the season. All that affects you on the court. But there's no excuses. I didn't come here to tell you there's a lot of shit going on. But yeah, there is. There's shit going on every day. And I'm an effing human being. But look, at the end of the day, my job is to play basketball, so I go play basketball." That's real life right there. I think just not a lot of people realize that. McCollum, and so this goes for the rest of the team, is being asked to play a new style of play. There's a new GM now in the middle of the season. COVID's still a thing up there in Portland. I know in some places that where you may not be watching this, it's not a thing, but COVID's still real up there. He's having a new child too. Like, there's a lot going on. He's asked if he likes Billups and how he feels about Coach Billups. He goes, "I like Chauncey. I like his approach. I think he's approaching things the right way. He's not a guy who thinks he knows it all. I think he's approaching things the right way, asking for feedback, asking questions, and he's holding himself accountable, which is important. It's on us to be better, and he has stated that." And then the last thing I'll talk about when it comes to the article is CJ's. He's asked how he's like responding and how he feels and how he reacts to the whole trade CJ movement that has seemingly been going on in Portland for the last couple years and is at an all-time high right now. His reaction is, we play in a city that is passionate. The fans are passionate, they care, and obviously the city wants us to be better. A better team, a better organization. In their eyes, there are only so many things that can happen for us to do that. So it is what it is. I ain't never run from nothing in my life. I have successes, I don't run from it. And when I have failure, I don't run from it. It is what it is. I don't be tripping. I do my job and I go home. I see everything. I hear everything. And I understand it. It's part of the process. And then Quick ends just with the fact that was the end of their conversation. And then obviously he got that text message that I went over at the beginning of this video. So, I mean, there's a lot going on when it comes to McCollum. It really gives you a deep dive into how he's truly feeling. And I think it's real. I think he's vulnerable. And it's just something that when you really think big picture on things, that, I mean, these are real things that real people are probably going to struggle with. And McCollum is struggling with it right now. And again, he says it's not an excuse, but obviously it's going to affect him. And then just a couple hours ago, he was reported that he has a collapsed lung now, which is a very serious thing. I'm not sure how long he's out. I did my fair share of research. If it's a small puncture or something, or a slight puncture, something where it's slight, he'll only be out like 1 to 2 weeks. But if it's serious, he could be out 6 to 8 weeks, which would put a big question mark on his future with the Blazers and stuff regarding to that. So let's hope for the best. The whole situation hasn't come out yet, or the whole diagnosis. He'll do more tests, but he's obviously out for the near future, which truly sucks to the Blazers. I mean, obviously, I've said this in so many videos. Got McCollum's jersey right here. He's been a guy that I've really enjoyed watching in Portland for the last, 8 years. And I don't want to see him go, but I do understand that him leaving would possibly be the best thing for the Blazers right now. But until that time comes, I'm going to keep supporting him and keep rooting for him. And even when he gets traded, I'll do the same, because he is very open, and him being open is something that I really like, because I get a chance to really understand how he is as a human and just how the Blazers are and how he's dealing with the Blazers right now and how he's dealing with life. And that's something that I really enjoy reading. So I appreciate McCollum doing this piece with Jason Quick. With that being said, that's all I got for this one today. I just wanted to give you guys insight to the article, because I know it causes a subscription and you really don't get all the details without hearing it. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and keep being on the lookout for more Trailblazers videos, because there's a lot going on and this news is coming at us at a rapid pace. And I won't stop the videos, we won't stop the podcast. So podcast once a week, videos a couple more times a week most likely as news comes out. And that'll be it. Peace.